Good evening, everybody, and thank you for hearing me out. Our organization.
No, Mr. Macklem, you're not. Mr. Macklem, it's not your turn.
Oh,
you're starting the hearing. Stand by.
Please we'll call your name.
Good evening, everyone. I am Metro Board Member Springworth. I'm an alternate director representing DC on the Metro Board of Directors. Before we begin, a quick bit of housekeeping. If you've joined us online, I'd ask that you remain muted with your camera off until you're called on to speak. Thank you for joining us for this evening's virtual hearing on Metro's proposed FY 2027 budget and FY 2027 through 2032 capital improvement plan. With me today is Metro's Senior Vice President of Management and Budget, Bob Tusello, and Chief Board Affairs Officer, Jennifer Ellison. This hearing is convened by the Metro Board of Directors to gather public comments on two dockets. Docket B26-01, Metro's proposed FY 2027 through FY 2032 capital improvement program, and federal FY 2027 grant applications, and docket B26-02, Metro's proposed FY 2027 operating budget and associated service proposals. Notice of this hearing was made by publication in the Washington Post, and ads were also placed in El Tiempo Latino, the Washington China News, the Korea Times, Washington Afro, Washington Informer, ATREF, and Dine. Information was also provided via social media and the Transit app. Notice was also made online and sent to all jurisdictions within the Metro Compact area and to area libraries. Signs were placed in all rail stations, on buses and Metro access vehicles, and Metro Rail ambassadors provided information in person. We're looking forward to hearing from everyone who's joined us this afternoon to provide testimony. Before we take testimony, we have a brief presentation from Mr. Tusello that provides details on the budget proposal along with proposed changes in service. So with that, Mr. Tusello.
Thank you, Director Worth. Appreciate being here. My name is Bob Tusello. I'm the Senior Vice President for Management and Budget here at WMATA. I'm glad to be here. And today I'm going to cover at a high level the FY27 proposed budget and service overview. And then there'll be a time for public comments. So next slide, please. Thank you. So WMATA has a strategic transformation plan which lays out 3 goals and several objectives. The latest plan was approved by the board in December of 2025, and the proposed 2027 budget aligns with WMATA's commitment to good financial stewardship, which supports the 3 goals of service excellence, talented teams, and financial and organizational efficiency. Next slide, please. Service and fare improvements have grown Metro's ridership in recent years. This slide begins in fiscal year 2021, when there were 81 million trips on both bus and rail, and then goes up to fiscal year 2026, where we forecast 268 million trips, which is roughly over a 200% increase since fiscal year 2021. We also identified what has happened over the course of those 5 years, primarily, we have identified the opening of new metro stations, both on the Silver Line to Dulles International Airport and Potomac Yard on the Yellow Line. We've aligned our base fares between bus and rail. We are providing better all-day service and longer weekend hours. And we've recently developed in 2025 convenient methods to pay to ride both bus and rail using both debit and credit cards. Next slide, please. So to guide our ridership and revenue forecast for fiscal year 2027, we selected a mid-range scenario that factors in the discussed bus and rail service changes, expected growth in our UPass program for colleges and universities, and stable ridership from the federal sector. For Metro Rail, paid ridership has grown rapidly and is now beginning to enter a phase of steady growth. The baseline forecast for fiscal year 2027 is 2.3% overall ridership growth from 2026. For Metrobus, paid ridership and revenue are expected to grow with the recent launch of our Tap Ride Go way for convenient payment, as well as based on ongoing fare enforcement. Next slide, please. So now I'm going to cover some of the service changes that are proposed in the FY 2027 budget. So for bus, we can optimize schedules to provide more efficient bus operations. These concepts add capacity to address crowding, improve on-time performance to address reliability issues, increase frequencies to improve the customer experience, and enhance the span and coverage of our key routes to provide more consistent service that's easier for customers to understand and use. On Metro Rail, we can improve our operational efficiency through train length optimization, automatic train operations, providing better all-day and late-night service to improve network usefulness for trips throughout the day, supporting major destinations with greater service frequency, and adding peak capacity to mitigate crowding on the red, orange, and silver lines. Metro access service areas will remain the same in FY 2027 as in FY 2026. Next slide. Our goal is to deliver more useful network to drive continued ridership growth. For bus, this takes the form of improved service on 19 routes, which is 15% of the total routes. For rail, it's better all-day and late-night service. Better service increases the number of regional jobs accessible within 30 minutes of a station or a station stop by 5% year over year. This is an increase of 37% since FY 2020 and includes our new bus network, which was launched during 2025. Next slide, please. So now I'll cover some proposed operational budget items. So as we build our budget, we include certain assumptions. We include active collective bargaining agreements, which provide 3 to 4% wage increases. We include workforce optimization through modernization efforts across Metro. We include reinvestment of savings from automatic train operations and bus efficiencies to provide additional service. And we also are including Metro access growth in the 2027 budget from 2026. On the right, external factors that could increase costs in 2027 are such things as inflation, energy markets, and pension and healthcare benefit increases. Metro can potentially mitigate some of those through evolving our workforce and service delivery by leveraging technology and streamlining our processes, by improving energy efficiency through schedule changes and reducing exposure to changing energy markets with longer-term fixed price contracts. Slide, please. This slide shows the 2025 actual expenditures and revenue, the 2026 budget, which was approved by the board in April of last year, our end of year forecast for 2026, then our proposed budget for 2027, and then we've included in this budget for the first time forecast for 2 years, in this case for fiscal years 2028 and 2029. Forecasts help both provide for planning, it informs the board of out-year costs, and it also serves to inform the public of where we think our costs and revenues are trending over the next 2 years. Next slide, please. This slide is our proposed subsidy by jurisdiction and by mode. And 1.963 billion is the proposed subsidy for 2027. That represents a 3% increase over the FY 2026 subsidy of $1.9 billion. Next slide, please. So now I'll talk a little bit about our 2027 to 2032 capital improvement program. So due to uncertainty about future funding, Metro prepared 2 6-year capital program scenarios. One scenario on your left prepares for a future in which Metro does not receive new additional regional funding. This scenario totals 11.3 billion, covering the period FY 2027 to FY 2032. On the right is scenario 2, which prepares Metro to advance more critical work if new additional regional investment of $460 million annually, indexed and bondable, provided in line with the DMV Moves Task Force recommendations. This would provide $15.8 billion over the same 6-year period. Next slide, please. Two of the most critical investments impacting the capital program in the near future are the purchase of our 8000 series rail cars and rail modernization. Next slide, please. I'm going to discuss first our 8000 series rail cars have a base order of 256 vehicles costing $905 million. Those rail cars are being built at our new Hitachi facility located in Hagerstown, Maryland. The 8000 series contract has several options to allow Metro to purchase additional rail cars. However, without additional funding, execution of even option 1 is at risk. Without the additional regional investment of $460 million highlighted in scenario 2, Metro will not be able to execute beyond the base order, and resources are being redirected to other reinvestment programs. Purchasing fewer rail cars could impact revenue service, as Metro must keep older rail cars in service, leading to decreasing efficiency and reliability. Also, a smaller, older fleet also reduces flexibility and capacity. Next slide, please. Rail mod, we're looking at incremental investment strategy for the entire rail system, starting with the red line, as it will provide the foundation for system-wide rail modernization and future automation. Metro's signaling system is in need of replacement as it dates back to the original construction of the system in the 1970s. Metro is planning to replace the legacy system with communication-based train control technology and begin the installation of platform screen doors at some red line stations. The estimated cost to modernize the red line is between $900 million and $1.5 billion, with about $1 billion included in the proposed FY 2027 budget for the capital program under scenario 1. To fund this investment, Metro worked to reprogram approximately $600 million resulting from FY 2027 cost savings and FY 2026 future reductions to the red line communications-based train control effort. Metro will also need to leverage federal grants in order to support this effort. Next slide, please. So new capital funding of $460 million over and above what we received today, indexed with inflation, is critical to fund Metro's capital investment needs. The new funding added to existing capital sources allows Metro to maintain and continue to improve the safety, reliability, and efficiency of the system. Examples of investments made with new funding, and these are included on the slide, and I won't go over all of them, but these are examples of what could be funded if the additional $460 million is provided. Next slide, please. To participate by phone, you can call in at 206-899-2028, enter meeting code 855-875-175, pound, press *5 to be put into the speaker's queue. And to participate, I think by mail, you could submit your comments to Office of Board Affairs, Sec 2E, WMATA, PO Box 44390, Washington, D.C. 20026-4390, reference FY2027 budget in the correspondence so it gets directed to the right location. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Director Wirth. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Trusillo. Before we call witnesses, I'd like to explain the testimony process this evening. For this hearing, we have people joining us in via phone and also via video. If you're joining us via video, just a reminder to please keep your camera off and mute your microphone until you're called upon. If you're listening on the phone, you can press *5 to raise your hand to indicate that you want to speak. We'll call on you using the last 4 digits of your telephone number when it's your turn to speak. If you're watching this hearing live and decide you want to provide testimony, you can call 206, just on the screen here, 899-2028. After calling in, enter meeting code 855-875-175 pound. Once you're in the meeting, if you'd like to provide comments, you can press *5, which will let us know you want to speak. We'll call on you using the last 4 digits of your phone number when it's your turn. If you're watching the live hearing on a different device, please make sure to mute the device so that there isn't feedback. You'll be able to listen to the hearing while you wait in the phone queue. For the public record, to accurately reflect who's providing testimony, I'd ask that you please state your name and any organization you represent before beginning your testimony. Since this hearing is being recorded and will be available on YouTube, please do not provide any personal information like address, phone number, or email address in your testimony. Elected public officials will be allowed 5 minutes and everyone else will be allowed 3 minutes each. Extra time will be given for translation if needed. We ask that you stay within your time limit because we want to make sure everyone who wants to speak has a chance to be heard. I also want to note that each speaker is only able to speak once. While you may have the option to rejoin the speaker queue, we cannot accept additional testimony at this hearing. I want to take a moment to recognize that this is where we listen to you. This is your opportunity to comment on the proposals, and we are here to listen. We will not be able to answer questions during your testimony. Your comments will become part of the public record that will be reviewed by the Metro Board of Directors. Changes to the options presented today may be proposed in response to testimony received and subsequent staff analysis. And now it's time to call the first witness. As a reminder, please tell us your name and any organization you represent before you start speaking. All right. And with that,
Thank you, Director Worth. We do have one person who signed up to provide video testimony. Mr. Ryan Mackham, you can unmute and turn on your camera, please. And you will have 3 minutes.
Hello. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Perfect. So my name is Ryan Mackham. I represent an organization called Init Innovations in Transportation, Inc. We're very happy to see that there's continued investment in the modernization of the fare collection program, especially with the tap to pay. You know, on behalf of DMV ridership, we really appreciate it and love the new feature. With that said, there are still improvements to come. And we were curious if specifically budget for the upcoming account-based fare collection upgrade was included in the fiscal year 2027 budget, and would hope that would be clarified in the subsequent approved iteration. Thank you, everybody, for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Mackham. You can turn off your camera now. We do have one person on the line, on the phone line, phone number ending in 1649. You can press *6 to unmute yourself, and you also have, please identify yourself, and then you can have 3 minutes for testimony.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, my name is Marissa Johnson, and I'm commenting on some of the improvements that we see in the community, specifically with the C25 and C26 bus line. It no longer serves certain areas where the disabled and the elderly used to catch the bus. For instance, the 2400 block of Elvis Road Southeast, the bus formerly known as the W6, W8, used to come in the community. It's like a long hill that they have to go into and around the corner. Well, some of the elderly and disabled have to walk from their complex, which is at the 2500 block of Elvis Road, all the way to Stanton Road and Elvis Road to catch the bus. So I was wondering if we can reinsert those services with the C25, C26, and also at the 2600 block of Robertson Place Southeast. Robertson Place and Jasper Place also has a steep hill that they have to come up and down in order for them to catch the bus on 12th and Robertson Place. So we was wondering if that service can be restored. And another line on the C61 used to service Washington Hospital Center, well, it no longer does. So if you're coming from Washington Hospital Center to, First and Hospital Center Drive, they have to come all the way from over there in their wheelchairs, and there's nowhere for them to stand to get on the bus. So I was wondering if we could just revamp those 3 bus lines for the elderly and disabled, and also invest in having buses with window openings. You know, there's a lot of viruses and illnesses that's going on. So basically, there's no window openings like there used to be at the top, so you can at least let some fresh air in. There's only a vent that's located at the back of the bus, but it doesn't service the front, the middle part of the bus. So in the future, if they do build some new buses, can that feature be added to the buses for the windows? At least have some openings right there where we sit or at the top of the bus. Thank you.
Can you repeat your name one more time for the record, please?
Marissa Johnson.
Thank you so much, Ms. Johnson. And Director Worth, we have no one else on the line and no one else in video call, so you can wrap it up. Thank you.
All right. So thank you. Guess that was I'm told that there's no one else that wants to provide comments. So that was our last speaker. This hearing is now concluded. You're welcome to submit additional written testimony. It must be received by 5 p.m. on Tuesday, February 10th. Testimony can be submitted online at WMATA.com/budget. Online, you have the option to complete a survey, write free-form comments, and upload a letter, petition, or other document. You can also mail testimony to Office of Board Affairs, WMATA, the SECT, 2E, PO Box 44390, Washington, D.C. 20026-4390. Again, all testimony must be received by 5 p.m. on February 10th. We encourage everyone to submit comments online if possible. Thank you again for joining us and for taking the time to provide testimony.